join me in Miami ahead of qualifying. I figure we will do qualifying in Miami, and then, yeah, Rope Trick, you will be up, because we will do our mid-season engine changes. And while we're doing that, I can kind of talk you all through the season and where we're at so far. But yes, I believe this is round 13. I think. It is indeed round 13. So let's do it, shall we? We are basically halfway, just over halfway now through the season. So we are ready for qualifying. Let's get onto some good parts. You'll notice that Soph has a good range of parts. She is struggling on gearboxes. She managed to blow out a gearbox in a rather nasty accident a few races back, which hasn't helped. But she should be alright, because we've already bought... She's got 4 gearboxes. Should be fine. Doing engine changes between qualifying and race. No, we will do the race first. And then we will do the changes while I just give you an overview of the season so far. So let's get Montoya onto decent parts. He obviously doesn't have as many parts as Soph because he's not pushing for a championship. So that's all right. He is starting to run, or well, both of them are starting to run on parts. You will notice that we've got some level 5 parts in there. We'll talk a bit about that afterwards. But the proof is in the pudding here. So for those of you who didn't see last week's stream, which is the first one in the 20 or 31 season, or who haven't been following the races on Discord, because remember, a lot of the times midweek I will stream races to the Discord, so you can watch them there. But let's manage some qualifying. Grip's high, so get out there. It's Q1, we just need to get out ahead. And Monty, you can go out as well. To get a relatively clean run, should get through Q1 with relatively little problems. So that's a 128 from Flo.
So just confirming boxing.
Montoya just nipping her there. Let's see how everyone else does.
Negative. Keep your dash negative. Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap.
So yeah, to describe what we're doing with the engines, so Rope Tricks, to give the game a bit more variety, what I talked about on Discord was how it'd be cool if there was variance between engine setups between seasons. Because they're fixed stats, but they're actually stats you can edit in the database editor that you can download, which we use to do the race order changes. So Rope Trick kindly, over on the forums on the Discord, came up with a formula, or an algorithm rather, that allows us to do minor variations between seasons to engine specs to simulate the idea that there might be engine development, engine changes, tech changes. And what we decided we'd do as well was we'd also do a mid-season engine shift using, I think it's the same algorithm or a similar algorithm, that replicates the fact that during the season the engine manufacturers would be working to correct or change issues within those engines. So if your engine was slightly bad at a certain thing, then it makes sense that the engine manufacturers are going to focus during their in-season development on improving it. So what we will do is, but to make those changes, obviously someone needs to edit the save. So Rope Trick's going to do that while we're discussing the bits between the races. So I think it's safe to say that we're through. I imagine the reason the engines don't change in game is there's an engine development freeze until the 2026 season IRL. Yeah, so it makes sense in the game, but just from a gameplay perspective, now that we're past 2026, it just makes sense to have a bit more variety as well. By the way, chat, I need you to remind me at 6 o'clock that I need to close the door and put Cecilia back into the room with me. I'm giving her a bit of a run out at the moment as Napoleon's outside, but I need to make sure she's locked back up in here with me so that he can have a bit of a prowl when he gets back properly, and so that Bex doesn't come home and accidentally let her out. So please, please, please remind me at 6 PM if I don't forget, so I don't forget. But it's just she's just had her dinner, so I wanted to burn off some energy by running around. Right. Now we should be fine qualifying on useds, I would guess, because we have a good car. There you go, Flo. Grips high and rubbers high. It's fine. Monty. She's going to get a clean run. They're both going to get a clean run. That's nice. That's what we wanted.
So keep that
That's a 128.143. And Monty's just behind her.
Yeah, copy.
Keep your dash negative. Dash negative.
Also, fun real-life note. Both Sophia Flörsch and Sebastian Montoya raced in the Macau Grand Prix this weekend. She was 11th. He stalled his car on the grid, lost several laps before the car pushed the pitch and restarted, and was not classified. It ended up being a 15-lap race. Well, I know she was racing in Macau because this streamer finally remembered that one of his old mates is the editor of Daily Sports Car, and he should probably tell his old mate what he's been up to on F1 Manager and ask said mate to see if he can get us some interviews stroke custom audio from certain people if we happen to win the World Drivers' Championship with a female driver. So watch this space. By watch, I'm guessing we mean listen. Quite possibly. So nice being able to qualify and use softs. It just gives us so much more flexibility. This house is very quiet, which disturbs me. So I might go and have a hunt for Kitty in a second. But let's get qualifying going. So we can do this on fresh tyres. That's good. It annoys the shit out of me. Oh, that's alright, she's just turned up. There you go. Hello. Why doesn't it select the first tyre? Just have to guard my wine now. Right. That should all be good. No, this is my wine, not yours. Thank you. Hi, very high, go. Go. Ooh, Lawson got out in between. Shouldn't be a problem. Flo's going to get a decent run. That's a 127.89.
Box, and call the car.
Lawson slower, Monty slower.
Currently P2.
Yeah, I think we got that. Verstappen and Gasly almost a second back on us in qualifying. Now let's see if they can set a better time. Let's see if he sets a better time this time out. He got a pretty clear run. Lawson splits them. I have to say the Haas's have been doing... Well, the Haas with Lawson at the wheel has been doing pretty well. Let's send them out on garbage parts to mess with lap 2. I've actually not been doing that mainly because it's handy to have the softs that have only got a slight bit of wear on them, just in case race events mean we end up having to use them. Go Lawson, though. And Gasly puts in a big run. Gasly puts in a big run. So Seb's got to make up some places here. Probably should have sent Seb out again with hindsight. Right, let's do this. Strategy is definitely going to be soft, medium, soft. And bring that back slightly so we can burn. Bring that back to there. He's definitely going to want to go for early burn. So I want you running 2 laps low on fuel. And I want you burning. Burn those tyres at race start. So you can't get some nice used normal car winter tyres or something. We could just put chains on them. Just gouge up the racetrack. Pull up all those manhole covers. Let's do this.
57 laps await our competitors here in Miami. So may the best driver win. As we get closer to the race, will the McLaren be fancying their chances in this one?
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole. But can they carry it through to the end?
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today.
Let's do this, chap.
And this is it, the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Go, 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 go. Now, he does have, if I'm right, the good side. I think that's actually helped us Gasly being second. Because we're going to put him on high overtake just for this start. Because Lawson's actually quicker off the line normally. Oh, Seb, you could have got inside him. You could absolutely have got inside him there. Right, who's on what tyres? Interesting. They're going for a one-stop then. They're going for a one-stop. Monty, come on, man. How are you losing places? The year is 2031. Crypto.com is apparently still going. So let's assume it's been like relaunched about 5 times by this point. All one stop except post share. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, everyone on mediums and softs is on a 2, I think. Alright, Flo can definitely back off now.
Make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Let's get off of this and see if Monty can gain some places. Come on, Seb. You can use that DRS, man.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
Wait, she's 2 seconds ahead on lap 1. Well, by lap 2. But we can watch how much she picks up per lap if you want. So if we push her, because we could, so we're gently pushing her. So 4.76 at that point. We're pulling 2 seconds a lap. Mediums could go medium hard strategy. That's very true, actually. You might be right, because I suspect you can't do soft hards. So you're right, they might actually be doing just that. Monty, come on, man. You're better than this dude. That's better. And Gasly, come on, he's on hards. Now gap him. There we go. Once you've hit your 2, we can drop the tyres a bit. There we go. Now, we did budget for a bit more tyre wear on these first sets, so it's fine. Pit window entered. No, not yet. No point. We will push
Pick up the pace.
and conserve, though.
Let's push.
Let's shed a bit of that fuel deficit.
Reason lifting coast. Copy.
And we'll bring Monty in first. Right, Monty, I think you're coming in. Flo, I want you to actually do some proper pushing for a bit.
And oh dear, that's Max Verstappen.
Oh, Max, what you doing, man? Max. That wasn't a crash, that was a hug. Come on, keep pushing, Flo. Right, let's pull her in now. Now, Seb needs to be a bit more careful on that tyre. Let's go with the standard. Let's put you on neutral. Back to early career, it's my road, Max, indeed. Go on, Seb. Let's push him on deploy. You certainly deployed that. Should gain this on Lawson. The problem is Lawson's getting DRS off of Gasly. There you go. Good work, Monty. Let's put Flo on conserve. If Monty manages to drop Gasly, we'll conserve him as well. I want to get 2 seconds on him now. Conserve. Flow gas law, is this some kind of energy regulation? Indeed. Right, point 2 you'll make back, that's fine. We do need to think about when Flo's second pit is, because we did bust through her strategy. Balanced. About there, I reckon. Oh, well, that puts her on the same lap. Go on that later. So much tyre left. Yeah, we're doing well on tyres. I think we'll push him just to try and give him a little bit more distance over
Pick up the pace.
Mickey.
Copy.
Right, let's get Monty in. Flo, you're in. What did Lawson and Gassy switch to? That's a good question. Probably mediums. Gassy's on mediums, Lawson's on mediums as well. So yeah, they went one stop, medium hards. Just make sure we don't run out of fuel now. Let's take you off of high. Nobody crash. Kitten come back upstairs. She popped in briefly and now she's disappeared again, so. And we'll find her shortly. Cecilia and Maponi allowed to properly meet yet. So we're at the stage where we keep the door open with the mesh over it so she can see him through the mesh and vice versa. The breaking news this morning is Napoleon approached close enough to give her a proper sniff through the mesh. And she sniffed him back and she then rolled over and was chirruping happily and being all manic pixie friendly kitty. So very non-aggressive, very demure, which I think went down well with him. And he was still confused and a bit wary, but wandered off. Yeah, he was just absolutely confused by it all. But so that's a really positive sign. Hi Cat, how you doing? Right, let me just go and deal with cats while this final lap is going on. Back in a second.
in there for me.
Okay, that's the checkered flag. Your P2.
Okay, the airlock has been switched. Yeah, it's a pretty good win, that, isn't it? 50 seconds on the first non-McLaren, as you say. We'll take that, chap.
The McLaren driver put
She's
in a
happy about
great
it.
performance today.
That was a really well-executed race, I thought. Major credit to the driver, the pit wall, and the whole team for that win.
Well, they've been waiting for this, haven't they? And it's only right that they make the most of it.
Wouldn't necessarily say we've been
Now,
waiting
with
for it.
that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And with
With
that,
our freakily identically looking women.
Now
In
the
our
team
pit
will be
garage.
looking ahead to Imola, where the season progresses with the Emilia.
No, we're not going to Imola, Karoon. Your audio's wrong now. Right. So, this is the driver standings, but we'll have a bit more of a look at that in a second. First things first. Let's click through. So dominant. I expected our advantage to diminish during the season. It seems to have expanded and not by a little either. We will talk about that in a second. Board are pretty happy. Well, let's have a look at the standings first. Championship. We are ruling the championship. Red Bull in second. Still, but way behind. Way behind. Don't see it in the channel. Should be there. Give it a second. But yeah, it should be there. Might just be a delay on upload. Alpine are the interesting story of the day. Getting up there. Haas have had some really good results, but it's mostly Lawson. They're really suffering from their second driver problem. But Alpine, not a bad showing, really. And Merck have really pulled it together. Ferrari is still absolutely mid-table, mediocre. And then you've got Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Williams down at the bottom. Aston Martin shouldn't be that high, to be honest. They got very lucky with a podium place, which has really lifted them. Frankly, they should be second bottom. Really, they should be second bottom. So that's constructors. Drivers, we have a 130 point lead over Max Verstappen. And let's be honest, it's over Max Verstappen that we only need to worry about. Because if we were going to throw races, we would throw races. What does that translate to? 13 race wins. 13 podiums out of 13 races, 5 fastest laps, 9 pole positions. Monty's doing well. So if we do a quick run through, he's been on the podium 12 times. The only time he hasn't been on the podium was for his DNF. So if we quickly look back at the calendar and the circuits, we can see that we watched that one on stream. I think we watched Qatar on stream, or did we do that on Discord? But either way, you can see that was a first and third, a first and second, first and third, first and second, first and second, with Lawson starting to come through, first and second, first and third, first and third, first and third at Monaco. Silverstone was where Montoya slammed himself into a wall. So that's what happened there. Austin first and second, and Miami Gardens first and second. The reason Montoya's starting to really represent now is he's now starting to get up onto the same parts as Sophia. So what have we done in parts dev? Well, we have massively prioritized this year's race car. But what I haven't done is done it entirely to the detriment of research. What it did mean is we didn't switch to research until June. And obviously, as you know, chat, I would normally actually start doing at least some research from April onwards. So where does that leave us in car parts development terms? Well, it means if you look over here, you can see that we're actually running on level 5 chassis, rings, rear, front and rear wings. Side pods were up to 3. That was the one we devved the least because it was where we were furthest enough ahead to begin with. And we're on underfloor 5s and suspension 5s. You recommend looking at the engines now before we reload the save? Yeah, we will do. I'll have a look in a second. So just to clarify what we need to be thinking about, or you do need to start thinking about, chat, is we are well on course to win the World Drivers' Championship with Sophia this year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 races left. That is a maximum of 275 points available. So someone who is better than me can do the maths on this, because double points in the last race. But 275, and that's going to drop every race by 25. So I think we're potentially well on course for we could win the championship in September. I'm kind of discounting sprints because we don't do that many of them. I think we've got one left. And that really was I think for a swing that big, we'd need to start having some really bad DNFs. Notice we didn't get stream cursed either. Do we still have a point for fastest lap? I think we got rid of the fastest lap point and it hasn't been reinstated. But let's have a look at engines before we flip out of this. So if we go to, I think it's warehouse, and then we have a look at engines. If we have a look, so this is the current engine setup. We are on the Mercedes engines. That's how we're comparing to the rest of the grid. If we flip to that, you can see that actually we currently have second biggest power, first on power loss threshold, second on wear resistance, first, third, second, third. It's a good run. Note that Red Bull is actually in a lot of fourths. So arguably you could say the Renault engine is the second best one out there this year, I think, probably. But I think we've ended up on we made the right engine choice. I think that is the best engine in F1. So this is with our modified engine values to reflect that manufacturers would have been doing mid-season dev. So let's go to cars. We want car parts development. No, car parts warehouse. Engine. Car part attributes. New manufacturers. Okay, so we've dropped back on fuel efficiency, I think. I have it in the Discord. Let's have a look. Oh, we can't see the biggest changes on that. Red Bull have picked up, though. Look, they're first on gearbox durability. They picked up some numbers. I think they'll be alright. Merc +4 to performance loss. Red Bull -2 to performance loss. Ferrari +1 gearbox, +1 gearbox, ERS and that. Renault more fuel efficient and speed. Red Bull more fuel efficient, a little bit less speed. Merc +2 operational range. Nice. So, the other thing that's worth thinking about, though, if we are on course to win this, we will be switching to a different team next year. So you need to start thinking, chat, about which team we want to switch to. Like, which manufacturer are we going to turn into a female-only, an entirely female-only F1 team? That's the question for you. We'll want someone, ideally, who's no one in the top 4. Has to be 5th or lower. But that's to start thinking about. On that note, in terms of our drivers, who we do have our eye on, or rather I have my eye on. Now, one of these we've looked at before, I know. And that is Elizabeth Richter, Mercedes reserve driver. High development rate. Look at those stats already, and she's 22 years old. As I've said before, that is a future World Drivers' Champion. At 22, yeah. I know this is probably a pretty stacked field, but what team has historically been the most misogynistic? I mean, you're just going to have to say Ferrari on that, because Ferrari. Like, making the horse an entirely female team, and then winning lots with it. Imagine the absolute fucking outrage in Italy. Williams, we can roleplay as a return to Claire Williams, backed by whichever dark, shadowy forces of capitalism were bankrolling your current run. Yeah. Could do the Renault replacing Alpine mod. There's actually, I noticed today, someone's finally done a Brawn mod. Someone has finally done a Brawn mod. I do quite like the idea of doing it with a vanilla team. In terms of second driver choices, I do think that we do have Ellen Newland here, who is Ferrari's reserve driver, who, while she's... Have we not got detailed scouting on her? I thought we did. Now, her development rate is average, so she's not going to dev as well as the other one, but she's already a 79. She would slot nicely. Look at that control, Jesus. Now the other one I spotted earlier is, which I don't think I'd spotted her before. If I had, she's come up a lot in stats. Yoko Kikuchi. So this is who I'm scouting at the moment. She's a 59 at age 20. She's still in F3, so I'm not sure if we could get her. But worth watching. Yes, we can. It's going to let us. I want to know what her stats look like, because 59 is not bad for 20 years old. And I think she might be another high dev driver. I think the lack of a 2-year timeout is one of the things I've had in the patch. No, they accidentally got rid of it, I think, and then they restored it. Because I'm pretty certain I have seen other drivers that I can't propose a contract to. This driver cannot be contracted in a Formula 1 team at least 18 and have completed at least 2 seasons of F2 or F3. We go with the fact that James Bond is the biggest womanizer and historically drives. I do quite like Aston Martin as a team, as in like I like the car colours. I kind of think it is essentially it's between Ferrari, Aston Martin, and maybe Williams. But I kind of feel like it might be Aston Martin or Ferrari. I don't know, but think about it. But those are the 3 drivers we're watching, just so you know. And there's some staff are watching as well, because the issue we're going to have with that is we are going to have substandard staff at least for a while, because we will want to try and steal Diana Romano eventually, but she's got another year on her contract, so we'd need to try and steal her next year, and that depends on us having any money to do it. But I think we'd want her long term. That would help us a lot. But actually, if you look at other positions, sporting directors, we're going to be needing to go with... Who's the highest ranking female? It's going to be Maria. So we will have a 71 as a sporting director. Right, she is the highest ranking there. Race engineers, last time I looked, there's only one, because we're basically entirely reliant on someone. I think what I've worked out happens is when someone retires out of the game, it generates a regen to replace them. It might add an extra regen every year, but that seems to be the way it works. And so far, I have found one. But she's not very good, but we're going to have to go with her anyway. Is it Yoletha? Yes. That's going to be one of our race engineers. But Simone, I saw it. Yeah, it's a male. It's a Simon. I don't think there's another in the game. So unless we get lucky on a regen, we might be out of luck on that, but we'll have to see. Anyway, yeah, start thinking, chat. Sporting directors, I'm pretty certain there is one, but again, we'll be going down the... Yeah, it's Maria, isn't it? So yeah, head of aerodynamics. Head of aerodynamics, we got Gladys over at Alpha Tauri, so we can get her. That's what scout her, actually find out what our contract is. So race engineers is going to be the problem, but c'est la vie. Right, onwards. So obviously I don't want to screw McLaren, so we are doing research. We do have to be slightly aware of our cost cap. So I think we are only going to do one more research at the moment. So all of those are on one. So I'll have some suspension in. Basically, the McLarens are still going to be the cars to beat for a few seasons yet. Game, are you suggesting someone was born with the name Gladys in 1980? Or 1990. Jesus, 1990. God, I'm old. But yeah, so that's our possible future. Lads, sort yourselves out. Line up right there. Border happy. Soph has picked up a point in cornering. You can see what I mean. This is why I was keen. This is why I was saying that this season and next were probably our last big chances. Because you can see that she's really tailed off in dev terms now. Bother doing anything? I mean, we can get down to 0 chance of mistakes, which is nice. I do like that they've added this, but I think they do need to do work on it. Doesn't really feel like you're affecting much at the moment. Right, next up, Hungary. Do we make Hungary a sprint? Is Hungary one of our sprints? No. Oh, we made Brazil a sprint. That's right. Let's make sure the facilities are all good. Yeah, go for it. Why not? Laurent is always weary. He's just unbelievably fucking French. Laurent's just very French. It's like you go into his office and you're like, how are we doing today, Laurent? And he goes, the weather like my heart, it is grey and suffering. You're like, all right, Lauren. Just wanted to know if you guys have been working on your tyre changes. How is the rubber mix, Lauren? Black like my heart. Performance targets. We've actually reached the point where I'm not bothering to set hot streaks because we have more money than God. So it's just effort. Let's go. Maybe you shouldn't have painted the cars mostly grey again, or maybe that was Lauren. Could well be.
Welcome to the beautiful.
Alright, Lauren, what are you doing? I am painting the cars the colour of my heart. An F1 team with a massive cash surplus, totally honest. This is back to my thing of I'd like it if periodically they just downgraded your facilities like they do in Football Manager. So just have a thing where they go like, oh yeah, no, changes in stuff mean that your equipment is now not as good as it was. You didn't tell me Cat had moved. Let's get you Cat Cam back again. If I move my wine to the other side. Heavy rain for Q qualifying, that should be fun. Car parts. You know what we could do in this race, and might actually be worth doing? Because Hungary's quite a fast track, isn't it? We could break in her new parts on this race, take the grid penalty. Might be worth it doing now rather than later. It amuses me that he has better gearboxes than her. Right, car setup. This is Hungary. Soph, Hungary. That is going to be a 9.5, a 15, a 2.8, 3.2, and 7.5. Car setup is 9.5, 15, 2.8, 320, 7.5. Ring. Go. Can do the bet trick where you convince both drivers they have the better car. Yep. Go. Yeah, I think we do the engine swap. This is quite a good track for overtaking. And a lot of people will be starting to run on slightly used parts, so it's a good time to do it. Post-dinner snoozes are underway, I see. Give me some driver feedback, please. Oh shit, we didn't set
How you feeling?
Yes, everything's all good.
Okay, understood.
Balance check.
88. You can probably improve on that. It's a tricky one. Let's give it a go though. So it's a great, an optimal, a great, and a good. So that'd be 8.5, 14.5, 19, 345, and 1. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be this, but we should get it on the third one. So just get out there and run the distance, Monty. Soph is on great. It's 94, that's fine. Just go with it. Missed the 8.5. Did I? Oh, on Monty. Let's just double check that. Yep, 8.5, well spotted. Go. It's going to be really interesting having to try and, like, we have been battling Red Bull. Oh, Soph, have you just banged someone? Is that the stream curse kicking in?
And here we've got a yellow flag. Now this was at turn 1. Cutting it so close. Oh, that's quite an impact between
Ouch.
them. And the team won't want to...
Now watch them blame her for that. That's fine. Carry on. Oh, no penalties. We're fine. %, 12, 28, 57, that's fine. Something wrong with the car? Yes, you drove it into an LP. Yeah, I mean, like, Red Bull have been the big bad for all of this game for us. And when we take over a new team, McLaren are going to be the big bad. Because they won't fall off that quickly in terms of quality now that we've built them up.
How's the balance?
Car feels great. You're fucking lying, Monty. I know it's not great. Because I know where the sliders were. Like, with regards to the things changes, great been reading all your little comments, but I think it's no different from like you just go like, technology advancements mean your wind tunnel is now no longer one of the best around, and like you need to upgrade it if you want to continue to be good. That's basically what they do in Football Manager. So you will periodically between seasons get a notification that says your youth facilities are no longer, due to changes in regulations and whatever, your youth facilities are no longer rated as top. Comet cited your car is now less stable. Yeah, exactly. Why isn't there a driver called Victoria? Should be a driver called Victoria 3. And they'll have an infinite war chest to do whatever to, yeah. basically for about 4 seasons they can just spend money like water. They'll buy too many parts and they'll do everything else, but they'll have... And year 1, we're going to have no money. Guarantee you will have no money. And whoever we take over, I guarantee you most of their facilities will be absolutely shite. Like, they will be in terrible condition. And year 1 is going to be tough. Car parts missing. Would you like a front wing? We got 3% engine left. And we're only at 82%. Let's see how far we can get up on 3% of engine. Called it, Monty, you absolute freaking liar. Liar McLiar pants. Great setup, my arse. Great, 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 great. Good. The game's struggling with that and doesn't think it exists. It reckons that's as close as it can get, which is just a lie, man. To the manual controls. Right, rear wing angle needs to be high. Maybe there. Let's try that. On softs. Softs. You're not making that far on that engine, but you never know. Kitty has gone full lizard. She's a proper little duvet lizard. Come back. A damn gimbal. Discovered that not adding the egg to macaroni and cheese makes it far less reheatable in the microwave. Well, quite. Lauren has turned the tour facility into a truffle scouting ground. That would be very Lauren. Don't be fucking locking up out there, Montoya.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Look at the McLaren driver here.
Pay you to drive, Montoya, not to lock up.
The brakes couldn't cope. By that point, it was just too late.
It'll be out long enough to get feedback. Ideally, remember, we want Soph at 92. Montoya gets what he's given. 92 is where she flips into high.
So just on the way in, if you give us some feedback on the tools and what we can look at.
Ah, look. See, look, we're better than F1 setup.it. 85, that's good enough. Right, you can stay in. Evening, Ming Ping Kitty. Hey, looking Soph. 87. Engine is made of gaffer tape and blue tack. Do you want me to go 0% engine, chap? Because this is how you go 0% engine. '89. Race between the engine and the tyres at this point, I suspect.
And update us on tyres. What do they like?
Tyres win. 91. Go on, Flo. 92. Do it. 93, Flo. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, yes. Go, go. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Oh, no, penalties for not having an engine anymore in the middle of a lap. Penalties for the drivers behind you. Kitty has changed her position. Actually, we want Kitty Cam in a slightly different place, don't we? We probably want it down there. Is that better for you?
I'm not quite sure what's happened.
Oh, Drugovic with 10 seconds of practice left. What are
Now,
you
here we
doing,
are
dude?
At the final corner. Clearly unable
Bonk.
to take evasive action.
There you go. Slightly bigger Kitty Cam. How about we make it exactly the same size as the UI, because this pleases me. And pretend it's a game feature. New in FM 2024. AI Kitty Cam. Imagine crashing with 10 seconds left of practice. How pissed off are your pit crew going to be? Ah, she's snoozing happily. P3. I mean, we're not really going out for it. We don't need to. 85, 93. Burn me a pair of softs, please. And get back in. Born Slippy. Right, I'm going to go get a wine refill while this is running out, so I'll be back in a second, chap. Kitty has gone to stare mournfully at the door. See if she can persuade me to let her out, which is not going to happen.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Yeah, the theory is that mid-season changes are an improvement on the engines, whereas changes at the beginning of a season reflect different priorities of the engine manufacturers overall. Which just gives us a bit more variety and a bit more options. It makes engine choice between seasons, when you can make an engine choice, a genuine choice and useful, rather than just essentially picking the same engine once you've decided you've found one you like. We'll have the cursed the driver lineup. We have a very good driver lineup. Montoya's doing very well as a backup driver and flows dead nicely under our watchful eye. But chat was given the choice to go between Mansell Jr. or Montoya Jr. as the backup driver. I'd not actually noticed Lance Stroll retiring. Yeah, no, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, and welcome to the chat, Space Nerd. Welcome. Right. Let's get back to some racing, shall we? Isn't Sainz... No, Sainz has retired, but Leclerc is still around. He just hasn't got a seat at the moment. K-Mag has retired. Obviously, Alonso and Hamilton went long ago. Trying to think of anyone else notable who's retired. Anyone else notable retired, chat? Scary thing is Sonoda's now one of the best drivers in the game. Don't get me wrong, they wouldn't be winning races without our phenomenal car, but still pretty decent. I'm legit. I don't think it is possible in this game to get Soph higher than 85. Or like maybe you can just scrape a little bit higher if you get better RNG. We got unlucky RNG on that adaptability score, which is one of the lowest contributors to overall rank rating. But you're always going to be reliant on RNG in this. We're going by how they did at Macau as our standard for drivers. Mansell didn't stall on the grid, so he beat Montoya. Fair.
We're moving on now to the all-important...
Right. Q1, baby. Right, this is definitely going to be a get out first. Are we going with brand new parts? I reckon let's do it. Let's do it, chat. Let's take the penalties. Actually, we don't need to on that, do we? Because that's a stock gearbox, so we can stay on GB3. His engine is nice. Goes on to his race ERS, and he stays in that gearbox. Not if you bird. Yeah, but that's the whole point, is I wanted to do it naturally. So yeah, you could get round the orange, but the problem is you'd have to do it like after races and stuff, which would just be like... I mean, this has taken us 360 hours to get to this point. Imagine how much longer it would take if you had to do races just because she put on a point in a thing you didn't like. Right. Good for qualifying. We'll take the penalty. Go. I'm putting them out because it's going to rain. Go.
Currently,
Do you remember first race of the season where Soph actually overtook someone on her qualifying lap? Like like they were so much slower than her, she actually overtook them whilst qualifying. I think the only ways to improve her overall score by 2031 would be testing an entirely new way of treating her as a driver, and that's difficult. I know how you would do it, if I'm honest. I think what you would do is you would pick a team that's right at the back of the grid at the beginning and has an expectation that is so low that you can basically carry on being at the back of the grid for the whole duration of it. But even then, I'm not sure you'd need a lot of luck for her not to crash in races. Remember, we didn't put her into a car until she was like, what, 76, 77? Because we just didn't want her crashing. I think you could win the title with a quicker, because you could cheese it. Yeah, you'd take over Red Bull and stick her in the car. You need a ton of money to replace the parts she destroys. But you'd also be killing her dev because she wouldn't be completing races. So I'm not sure it would play out. I genuinely think we've done it the best way you can do it, which is by getting her into a reserve driver in a decent team. And remember, we had to wait 2 years to get her in, and by that point we were at the team simulator as high. I challenge anyone to genuinely manage to get Soph higher than we've managed to get her over the course of these streams and Discord runs. I don't think you can. Monty? Chat, while I was talking to you lot, you did not point out to me that Montoya had not qualified. Well, this is going to be a fun race. Going on wets, are we? Is that going to get any drier? No? Yeah, I don't think you can get her higher than we've got her. If you remember right at the beginning after season 1 where we had her in the training, once we'd got her in, so season 3, got her in as the reserve.
Just keep an eye on that.
And I said then that based on the maths of what we were looking at, if we max dev'd her, I thought we could maybe get her up to an 83, 84. It already gotten damp, his time wasn't going to get any better. Yeah, fair point. He was basically just unlucky to get stuck in traffic. She's going to be climbing from the back, whatever we do. So this is, to a certain extent, academic. Oh. She likes the little cars moving around on the screen, chat. Look, adaptability points having the adaptability points absolutely do have an impact, but I just do without them. I'd much rather have control or braking points. How much driver confidence plays into it? I don't think it does. I think development rate does, and I assume that tails off over time. So I assume they start with a baseline development point ranking and then they drop down from it. So that's how you end up with very high dev, average dev. I assume everyone drops down probably at the same rate, but the way they do it is that the top rate varies per person. So everyone starts from a different starting point, but everyone vows up, like goes down from that. The cat it watches, yep. Shit, what are we doing? Wet tyres again. I don't know. Wonder if reserve P1's dev's better than F2, F3 Championship. So here's the thing. I think it does, but only if you've got maxed out race simulator. I think if you don't have maxed out race simulator, it doesn't. Hello, sunshine. Actually, we're going to set a time, and then we'll change tyres up. Just in case we get a red flag. Oh no, we got the weird view. Game bug, game bug, game bug. Ah! Ah!
Your P1. Just call the car on the box.
I do love it when it does that. Right, let's get her onto the softs. Yeah, we can burn. Oh, hang on. No, we're returning so many sets of softs. Fuck. No, get on the useds. Sure, Jan. Everyone get out there and do another lap on shitty tyres. So if driver confidence doesn't matter, you can put her in an expensive race seat as soon as possible for a top team with top facilities and pay for the massive replacement parts as needed. No, because she won't be completing races. And I do think that time in car on track influences your development rate. So if she is barreling out of races on... She's stuck behind Albon, that's going to fuck her.
So you're currently at P1.
If your time on track is limited, she's not going to train at a suitably high rate. So I do think it's a balance between getting her into a car at the point at which she's going to complete races. Doesn't matter if that's she's putting it all. She can still crash. She can still absolutely crash. Because she's going to be stuck in traffic. And if you remember, a lot of her early crashes when we were devving her up were failed overtakes or crashing into people while they were overtaking her. So maybe, yeah, you could run her at the back of the grid and pray, but doesn't feel very realistic is the point.
It's race day.
Right, where's everyone
Final
starting?
Preparations are underway.
Right, Soph, how good are you from 20th? That's going to be the question. We are going to start you on mediums. Because it gets the tyre choice out of the way, and I don't think you'll need that much extra pace to climb from the back. Oh, we can make that, you know, chat. We can make that. But P123 probably involves more on track time than the race itself. Yeah, but I think they get more points during a race than they do. I think it again, we don't know, but my gut feeling based off of watching her dev is you do get good points for P1, P2, P3, but it's a multiplied level points for a race driver. Not much scope to push there. I don't think we'll need to push, because we should benefit from DRS early on. Kitty is intensely interested in this now. I can't actually see you, chat. We could try soft, hard, soft for Monty. A divergent race strategy. I think at least one of them would win with that. Well, the softs in the best bit for the weather. We're fine on weather. It's going to be dry all race. It was only wet in qualifying. The other thing with this strat is if we get a safety car, we can go to whatever tyre we want because we've got a set of mediums out of the way. I think we are going to go early pace on her. And ERS up. We'll under fuel. I think he just drives straight. YOLO.
There's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hunt. And here we go. with the
Here we go.
Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Very interested in the cars rather driving around on the circuit. Right, we need to get off that view to give Flo a chance to climb. Right, when she hits red, we're dropping the tyre temperatures. Right, down to standard now. Monty, let her through. I didn't tell you to let De Vries through.
Right, let's have a look as we go into turn 4. The opportunity begging to be taken. And the McLaren there with a beautiful manoeuvre.
Because the thing is, she is so much faster than these back markers.
Right then, we can take a look now.
Like, the replays can't keep up with her.
Driver here. It's there for the taking.
The other thing to remember, chat, by the way, is for next season, is if we need a holding driver, there's a certain Lando Norris who's currently out of contract.
Let's have a look at that. Can they squeeze by? The points in touching distance now. They're 11th.
That's 11th on lap 7. Montoya's struggling.
So we're heading now into turn 5.
Well, we need a holding driver. If we went to a team where we wanted results straight away, that's what we do. But as we saw from the thing we were looking at before, I do think we've got 2 female drivers, regen drivers, good enough to stick in a car with a lower team. Piastri, how you doing, buddy?
This was at turn 3. There's the opening.
Oh, if we go to Aston Martin, we might end up having to deal with Piastri for another season. You lot are going to make me go to Aston Martin just for the Piastri memes, aren't you? Bye, Max.
Here we are going into turn 9. The gap opens up for...
Oh, she's trying for the cars. Kitty wants the cars.
That puts them in 6th.
We'll have a look at how long his contract is, but I bet you we'd end up having to drive with Fiat Piastri for a season.
They decide to give it a go.
Go on, Cecilia. Use your paws. Take out Max. Swipe at the Red Bull, Cecilia. It's the Red Bulls you want to swipe at.
Let's see what happened there. So here we go, heading into turn 1. It's certainly inviting. Up into 3rd and
They go
contending
zooms,
for
so they're
podium
clearly
place.
birds and therefore edible. Yep. She says, I have tried to catch them and failed. I will now sit on your mouse mat, as I feel this will be the most inconvenient place for me to sit. You lot are going to make me have us have Piastri, chorus of chat, where we are now. Yeah, I know you lot. I know you lot. Right. How are we looking on tyres? We're going to need to start running on lean tyres soon. He's tracking over tyres. Really struggled to climb. Kitty is determined to take out the entire field at this point. You can't see it, chat, but let's see if I can get this on cam for you. Might be able to. Might not get the angle. Just see the ears. I probably can do.
Looks like quite a big accident, yeah. Could be a lot of debris here.
Hopefully you got that. She's basically sat right in front of the screen, batting at everything. Right, crash involving multiple cars. Who crashed? Is that a Piastri? It's 2031 and somehow De Vries still has a seat. Right. Need to get people in. Not yet, though. Right, she's losing time back now. Monty's on his optimal pit stop. I'm going to run him for one more.
And we've had a crash on track.
Or not.
Here's the replay. Now this was at turn 1. Pushing a bit too hard at this point.
Oi!
Has to be said.
Can Alfa
that was
Romeos.
pretty risky, and they'll have to pick themselves up after that. And not much that the team can do about that one.
Okay, good news is it didn't affect anything. Even his tyres aren't bad. I'm going to leave him out there for another lap. Oh, how was that Montoya's fault? There's no way that was Montoya's fault. How was that Montoya's fault? The Alfa Romeo literally went into the back of him. Well, safety car. Safety car, baby. That's a free pit. Hards. Have we ever run the fastest pit competition? We did one year, yeah. Then Lauren got depressed and he's never got cheery again. Well, Seb, annoyingly, Seb's already coming in for hard, so I think this is just basically for a perfect pit for hard's time. Can hard get to the end? No. But that's fine, because we will get some softs in. Thing is, we're not close enough to her pit window to get away with pitting for mediums, because we were already running it close. So I think we just take the free pit. Remembering that she's climbed from 20th. This won't be close enough for anyone to come out on anything other than hards. Oh yeah, no, I'm just clicking buttons at this point. But like basically no one is coming out on mediums from that point. Because if anyone was going to do it, we would. So you couldn't do that, I don't think. Even if you run light. Right. So I think what we'll actually do is switch to that. Which is probably, to be fair, what most people were doing anyway. So can we do mediums to soft if we need to stop again anyway? No, we're not just outside of mediums range. Unless we run light. I think we go hards. Have we ever used hards on stream? Not a lot, so it might just be nice to do it for that. Let's go hards. If we get another safety car, we can always pit again and then we'll come out mediums.
There's a yellow flag now.
Who was it? Oh! Are indeed. Man, I did wonder. That's a red flag. Look at that.
Now we can see what happened. Now this was the Alfa Romeo. Now there's an inviting opportunity there. And not just one car involved in that, as you can see.
Yeah, not quite a full Bottas. Probably a 3/4 Bottas. Piastri's so unlucky on that because he just pitted. If that had happened a lap later, he'd have been fine. Right, we're going with hards, aren't we?
We're ready to get this race underway again. It's lights out and away we go.
Right, we can push these though. What's everyone else on? Ooh, interesting. Everyone else is stretching mediums then. It's a bold call, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
You can do this.
Well, this will be a test then. Us on hards versus everyone else running mediums and absolutely ragging them. Berzo, thank you for the subscription.
So this is what happened. Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10.
Now remember, they will be pushing early on. So this isn't necessarily representative of the respective pace yet. Can't see... Yeah, I was going to say I couldn't see Mick holding on to that. Okay, we did manage to gap. Can we afford to go back down? Might run Montoya on aggressive for a bit longer.
Let's take a closer look. Look at the McLaren driver here. It's there for the taking.
That's nice, Montoya. Good job. Subscribe for the kitty. She is a lovely little kitty. She, in case you didn't know, she turned up in summer. Someone, she can't have been any older than about 12 weeks. Someone had absolutely just abandoned her as a very sickly kitty on the street, outside our house. And she was just dehydrated, really ill. Turned out she had like a massive polyp, which is why she was struggling to breathe. So, and she was barely a kilogram in weight. So we had to nurse her back to full weight so Cat's Protection could then get her to have surgery. And then, yeah, we've decided that we'll offer her a perma home. Flo's doing a last to lap the field challenge at this pace. Well, I'm kind of wondering what strategy they're doing, because they must be running those mediums on light. They must be. Because as you saw, you can't do mediums, medium. It was too early, or we'd be doing it.
Right, we're taking the second corner. Tries to get by.
Logan Sargent's been an absolute disappointment in that.
There, unable to keep out.
Intro Napoleon's going well. He sniffed her through the mesh on the door this morning, and she did like kind of, oh, I'm just a cute little girl. And he was like, I don't understand what you mean. I'm going away now. He was full nerd boy. But they're getting on. Right. He's on curve. She's below curve, but not enough to worry about. Let's push Montoya. I mean, they're on 57 mediums. I mean, you can't be stretching mediums for this whole race. Unless you're running light. We could pit for soft. And we could, or we just hold out for softs. Because I'm assuming we're still pulling away.
Caution on the battery.
Yeah, I mean...
Now look, here we head into...
Don't they technically have to pit inside? They've got one more pit in them. And if they're on mediums now, the only thing they can pit into is mediums. Whereas we can pit into softs.
Closer to that podium, now in 4th place.
If there was a safety car now, we'd go on to softs. Max is not really gaining here. Lawson's spun. He's gaining, but very slowly. And he must be ragging those mediums. Yeah, he's at 42%. Like, he's got to be pitting for mediums again. There's no way he can stretch those to softs. Maybe he can. He is max. He's falling back. That would be my hand, chat. She's observing the little moving things from afar. Like, Max is dropping back. So if he is pitting to soft, he's going up against us on softs. I'm tempted to pull Montoya in now. Oh, we got a 15-second gap. We can stack him. Pack 'em, stack 'em, and rack 'em, boys. I assume Verstappen came out in softs. Yeah. So Montoya's in and out again. Out in 6th, that's not bad for him.
Just push.
He can make that up.
Very close to Russell.
We're not going to be close to Russell. Fuck you. Flows into the pits. Let's see where she comes out. Yeah, Scorbett's got the spelling.
So could be all clear on exit.
If we come out in first, this is race over. Yeah, easy. Easy mode, chat. Easy mode.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
This is basically down to how well Monty can do.
Right, so this was the 4th corner.
Streamcast still hasn't hit. We crashed in practice. Well, she bonked in practice.
And 5th place after that.
That's 5th. Let's not burn these towers. Now they're up to temperature. Be back to neutral so you can get your battle DRS. I think he'll podium at least.
Look at the McLaren driver here. The opportunity's there.
Bye-bye.
And the McLaren there with a beautiful manoeuvre.
Go on. It's only Mick. Nicely done.
Right then, we can take a look now. Now we're approaching turn 2. It's certainly inviting.
The raw pace on this car is
The
pretty
third
frightening.
And contending for a podium.
He's gaining on Max. He might take Max on this. 10 laps. Oh, dropping back slightly. Max is pushing. Fucking YOLO. If he can get in DRS, he'll take him. No, Max is going to hold him off. No, let's not get greedy. 3rd is fine. Must feel really frustrating for every other driver. Yeah. Leroy. Go on.
We are out of DRS.
Go on, Montoya. Can you imagine being the other teams in this save? McLaren turns in 6 dominant seasons in a row with 5 straight World Drivers' Championship wins, and then their all-time winning driver retires and they still go undefeated through at least the first half of the season. Yep. Can Montoya do this? He's got a lap to do it. Oh, Monty! Go aggressive. Go neutral. They both ragged their tyres. And he's gapped him.
Let's take a look.
Oh, how annoyed would Verstappen
Right, we're taking the
be?
second corner. They decide to give it a go.
How many times this season has he been done over by the rookie now? Just cruises past him.
This garage has just gone mental.
I am not surprised, Bonnie. That is 20th to first for Flo, 15th for second to second for Monty, with a 5-second penalty in the middle. Like, if you wanted any further evidence of how dominant we are this season, that's it. It'd be worth it though for all the like misogynistic nerds in the forums who'd be like, well, Sophia's only winning because she's got a car and she gets out ahead. And you'd be like, yeah, but she can also come from 20th up to first, so screw you. Given how good you made the car, how many seasons do you think it will dominate before the AI buggers it? I think we will gain pace with it by year
The McLaren driver put in a
3,
great
4.
performance today.
At least we'll be able to compete. We won't be as good,
From the team there. What a well-deserved win that was.
but we'll be able to compete. I would say season 4, but I think it'll be the next great reset, which will be the bit we're aiming for. We need to aim to be reasonably competitive before the next great reset, which was this year, so 2036. Only 2 drivers have ever done it IRL in the same race, 20th to first and 21st to second. Who did it? So in this, Lando's done it as well. How are we doing for time? Oh yeah, we can get one more in. Fittipaldi just smiling away. Be curious to see how Soph and Seb line up when allowed to race each other. To be honest, Montoya will win out because he's still only 26, so he'll have more dev in him, and she's peaked. Okay, let's have a look at Yoko Kikuchi. Development rate high. I thought so. I thought she must have at least high as a dev rate. Kimmy, I believe, did 20th to first. Has Kimmy done 20th to first? John Watson, Long Beach, 1983. Oh, Long Beach, that's a track. That's not bad. We can work with that. That's a reserve driver. Nikki Lauda, nice. That's a reserve driver. We could have her as reserve easy enough. She'll dev up nicely. we need another rear wing. We might need to start making some of them soon. We're going to need at least one more rear wing to get to the end of the season, so let's make at least one more rear wing. Car 2 is fine on parts. Montoya and Lambesi are losing affinity. Well, hug it out, guys. Ralph Vogt, no thank you. Suzuki Maida. Did we look at her? Suzuki Maida. It's around about the 60s, wasn't she? Karl Heinz, that's a good racing heritage name. '23. Let's take a look. When's the next ATR? Okay, it's 31st. Her morale's lowish, and she's on 28 months, so we should definitely be able to get her when we need to get her. She's alright. Drag reduction's very good. Oh, we got sprint. You're going to get to see the sprint, chap. So this game does generate female talent. Cool. Yeah, honestly, the game is pretty even-handed about generating regen talent. It's just that you start the game with very little female talent in it. Can you explain the sprint, please? I can. Let's click through and I'll show you. So, how this race weekend works is normally you would have practice 1 and practice 2 on a Friday, and then you'd have practice 3 on a Saturday, and then you'd have qualifying 1, 2 and 3. And at each stage of those, cars would be eliminated, and whoever was top in Q3 would be on pole position in the race. How a sprint weekend works is you have 1 round of practice, then you get qualifying 1, 2 and 3, same principle, 5 cars get knocked out each time. Whoever finishes Q3 is on top, but they're on top, not pole. What that means is it sets the grid positions for the sprint. And the sprint is a very short race. Is it 15 laps, I think? And whoever wins the sprint gets... So you get points for finishing in the top 10 on the sprint. Like, not as many as you'd get for winning a full race, but you do get some points. But the sprint also sets the race order for the race day. So think of it as a sort of bonus qualifying round after qualifying 3 that's really just a mini race in itself and carries a bunch of points. Just discovered in the database that you can toggle individual drivers to use one if they're WD World Drivers' Championship. Oh, i.e. you can flag someone as having been a previous champion. The other thing that is once Q1 happens, the setup can't be tweaked except for a front wing angle. Yeah, so this is basically down to getting lucky in our setup in P1. Where are we? Sao Paulo, aren't we? Let's sort this out. Sao Paulo. Where are you at, Sao Paulo? Interlagos. That's where we are, isn't it? I'm not having a brain fart. We are at Interlagos. 7, 13, 2.8, blah, 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 blah. So car setup. 7. 13. 2.8. Hang on, more important things. It's my head. Seven, 13, 2.8, minus 3.4, 55. Run plan will be 30, but we won't need that. You'll want to do that. Car setup, car parts. Yeah, we're going to have to go. I mean, that engine is nice, but we're going to have to start a running practice on it, which is annoying. Down to that one. No, not for a sprint weekend. We'll do that. Actually, we're only going to get one practice in, aren't we? So we never bother coming out for P2 on a sprint. Montoya, 7, 13, 2.8, 3.4, 5.5. Means I can now see bits again. Wait, can you change the gearbox again after P1? Yes. Yes, you can. Oh, you want. He needs to be on that engine. That ERS. He's on that gearbox, that's fine. You can probably race in that gearbox as well. I wonder if being a World Drivers' Champion just means you can always ask for more money in the game. Wouldn't surprise me if it alters contract negotiations so that they always want a much higher salary. What was the old story about Damon Hill and how he almost ended up at McLaren after winning the World Drivers' Championship? Sure, it was McLaren. And basically, Ron Dennis said, we're not going to pay you a base salary, we'll just pay you £1 million per race win. And he went, does it mean nothing to you that I'm the world champion? And Ron Dennis was like, no. Which is very Ron Dennis. Enjoy your nap, Random Deal fan. Have fun. Thanks for watching. He'll also need the money at that point since his family have been fairly broke most of the time since his dad's death. Exactly.
Yes, everything's all good.
Plus, obviously, he'd essentially come to F1 very late, so he'd never had a payday really before then. Certainly wasn't getting good cash out of Williams. Nobody got good cash out of Williams. So, feedback on that is optimal, great, 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 good. Gives him 8. Gives 13.5 to 8. And to 330. 0.5. Run to the end. 83. God damn you, Montoya. He is on a great, 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 good. 8. 13.5. 13.25. 0.4. Run to the end. Damon Hill's book is really, really worth reading, by the way. Really good book. Not just a sort of fluff autobiography, he really does open up in it. About a lot of his mental health stuff and all of that kind of thing. Can I put in a request that you scout Verstappen and see how much he's been paid by now? I have actually done that already. So over the course of this season, I have been quietly detailed scouting every single F1 driver so that we get an idea of who's on the move at the end of the season. So after this race, before we finish the stream, I will show you Verstappen. Is he the only World Drivers' Champion on the grid? Yes, because Lando's not there. Because Lando in our canon headspace is off winning IndyCar right now. No! Soph!
Now I'm finding out what's happened here, and it looks to be the McLaren that's involved. Now let's take a look here at turn 10. There! That's the moment of impact.
That's not an impact, that's parking it. Soph!
Everything okay with the car?
Soph, that's not the way the track goes, yeah. Stream curse! Every fucking time.
Okay, it is ending.
That might screw with our McLaren research schedule. At least we're on old parts. Monty might as well stay out. He's going back onto his old setup because he's only on good. Well. It's a joke, but Leclerc complained this year, and I think it was in Spain, his car didn't want to turn right. There's, back in the day where they were still working out how to do driver assists and everything else, there was, I forget who it was, I think it was Williams had a switch in the car where you could essentially make the car auto-turn or assist in turning for the driver, but only in one direction per race. So you always had to make it assist turning right or assist turning left. And there's a race where someone sets it to the wrong direction just before the race starts, which is a problem. It basically meant the driver was fighting the car for the entire race. Also, who is it that... Is it Villeneuve who manages to accidentally pop off his steering wheel during a race? With his knee, because it's too close to the button.
And the race weekend
I'm sure it's Villeneuve who does it. Yeah, no shit, car parts missing. I think that gearbox might be gone, chap. Luckily, the engine's still usable. ERS, we're going on to race ERS anyway. Oh, good. Luckily, it was the really old gearbox. Okay, we're not that badly off here. Oh, we haven't got any C5s. She's going to have to run on a C4. We do have a front wing 5. We do have a suspension 5. Okay, she's not badly off. It's not the end of the world. He can get one more race out of that, but I don't think he needs to. Because he has been good on his gearboxes. Why not emergency manufacture the C5? Because it costs a ton of money. And our car is good enough anyway that running on a C4 will be enough. If it was a tight field and we weren't massively ahead in the World Drivers' Championship already. Goes against the cost cap, yup. C5 chassis emergency build would be what? 1.8 million? Which would eat up roughly 10% of our remaining cost cap. So it's just not worth it. Yeah, we should revert his setup. So he goes back to an 83. She's on an untested, but that was running on bad, so I think we just revert. She'll run an 87. YOLO. Go. I know rubbers and grips are low, but car's good enough. It's more important that we have a clean run than it is that the grip's high enough at this stage. 108.
Delta. So just confirming boxing and
Monty with a 0.84. That should be good enough. I'm going to YOLO it and go get some wine. Back in a second, chat. No, not kids. Sorted. Trying to figure out how much Verstappen is currently paid. What, in real life? Note everyone else is dropping grid positions now, so we clearly got our first, well, what should be our only parts change in early, which is good. Should be able to qualify on those. Oh, don't be doing the fucking thing where you flip back. Just revert. Once I've said revert, stay reverted. Oh, to compare, yeah, versus grip's high enough, rubber's low, but grip's high enough. Kitty is in position and ready to fight the little cars again. She will do her duty.
This is outlap normal.
Yeah, copy.
You won't get Kitty now because of the angle.
Call the car and we'll box.
Basically, you hit the point where the camera can't go down lower than its base. Well, it's in the camera can, but that's where you get that blurred effect.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap.
Montoya needs to go out again. He's not getting through on that time. Should have a clean run, I think, if I've timed that right. Ooh, dunno. He might go out here. Oh, he's going to go out. If he goes out, he goes out. We've proven he can climb. I'm not burning another set of softs. I think it's better to keep the softs for the race, especially with the sprint. He'll make that up in the sprint. It's not a problem. Sarones, thank you for the follow. Or Zaran S. Where do you prefer the pronunciation to lie? Ignoring 8 years of inflation. That's a good point. You'll need to adjust for 8 years of inflation. Zaran S. Cool. We'll go to the second one. So Flo goes through Q2. We lose Monty. But remember that everyone else, when it actually comes to the race, is swapping parts out. So that's going to help us. Light rain on the sprint. So she gets fresh. Go. Grip's high, rubber's normal. Should be good enough for her. I find that the other cars are generally quite slow to come out. So where you have a car that can do it, you are best just going straight out.
Box.
Because generally speaking, a clean flying lap is going to be more beneficial to you than rubber on the road. Hello. Okay, well, if you're going to do that, I am going to have to show people. Let me see if I can show people. Yeah, I know. I'm having to do this with one hand. I'm currently being cleaned, chap. Oh, did it untest its setup again? Do we think she's happy being here, chap? Do you think she feels at home and like she's settled in? Not enough corned beef. She would insist that she doesn't get enough corned beef. She would tell you that. I honestly do not know how someone could have abandoned her. She is just one of the most loving kitties. If I think about it too much, I would cry. It's just so sad. I'm glad she's got a home now. Right. Well, at least now we know what that trash setup was. We're not sending flow out, so go out, because we can't do any of the major adjustments to it. Burn a set of softs, burn a set of softs, and we'll just basically YOLO it. Stop saying untested, it's not untested. Right, get back in. I'd rather save on parts wear. So basically, setup affects how many bonus points they get in categories for the race, because they will get bonus points added on top of their existing categories. So to be honest, for most of this season, because she's had really high setup, Soph has really been racing at the equivalent of about a 90, because we've been nailing the setup.
So rain is imminent.
But she's just going to be a bit lower for this race. But that's fine. I think, you know, she's just come from 20th to 1st, so I think she can do it. I think she still win. Also at the start of the game stats for Verstappen, both driver stats and contract stats. Okay, cool. We'll do a comparison after our after the race today, because I would be interested to see how that's come on. I think it's just generally interesting because obviously we're in the 2031 season, and like most people don't play the game this long, so I would guarantee you probably that they haven't necessarily tested it that much further on than we are in QA terms. I wouldn't have thought. By the way, if anyone is in the business for if you're a streamer or not a streamer, and you're in the business for a really, really good camera, webcam, I cannot speak highly enough about OBS Bot, which is the 4K webcam I'm using here. Like with its AI tracking and like its gimbal stuff that I'm using here to move this around. Like, it is just a brilliant camera. You pay for it, don't get me wrong. It's not cheap, but you absolutely get value for it. So yeah, cannot recommend it highly enough. If camera in 4K, why cat cam not in 4K? That'd be a streaming limitation rather than a camera limitation. what I might do at some point, because she does love to snooze on that chair,
No more
is I might
around.
just
Dry
record
line is forming.
like 3 hours of her snoozing on that chair, stick some ambient music behind it and whack it up on my YouTube channel as just here is ambient cat snoozing for your second monitor when you need to. And yeah, the reason you're getting a high quality zoom is because it's a 4K camera. Because I've got an Epidemic Sound subscription and I've got a couple of ambient playlists set up on that for just going through when I want to do it. So yeah, I could literally just put up a, here is 3 hours of just Kitty asleep with some ambient playlist background. And you just, every now and again, she'd just change position. Don't forget, by the way, that my stream manager it's Zidan, who was in chat earlier. I don't know if he still is. He is absolutely brilliant as a YouTube and video editor. So whether it's for streaming stuff or just in general workplace things, if you ever need someone to do video editing or streaming on a, say, I know he does pay-as-you-go basis, hit him up. Cannot recommend him highly enough. Puts up with my inability to give him descriptions on time and all of that kind of shenanigans. So, oh, there you go, he's still here. Right, we need to stop talking nice things about him then. He's rubbish, don't hire him. Gotta neg him. Do you have to neg your stream managers chat when they're around? If you don't neg them, they get too cocky. Right, let's do a sprint. That's just not true. Rope Trick! We're gifting Z down the sub.
Ropetrick gifted a tier 1 sub to its Zidane. They have given 34 gift subs in the
Probably
channel.
going on mediums. Just, why wouldn't you go with the best setup? Oh, we could, you know. Run light at the end, you'd be fine. She's starting from first though, so she doesn't need to. YOLO. See if we can get him up the grid. It's 24 laps. We run lap light. Maybe. She can burn a bit of tyre at start. Oh, fucking hell, every time. Just hold the setup. Let's go.
Laps around Interlagos awaits these drivers in what should be an entertaining sprint.
The 100-kilometer dash around Sao Paulo.
It's Texas speech box with a Welsh accent. Yes, it's the one I use.
Making for a thrilling event.
You subscribe, you can give him Welsh messages. Subscribe, you can make him sing Men of Harlech if you want.
To the finish line. 24 laps around Sao Paulo in today's sprint. It's lights out, and away we go.
Battle assist, battle assist.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Soph is away. She's in front. Screw you, Verstappen. Let's get off this view so Montoya can hopefully climb. Come on, Monty.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
So caution on the battery.
Copy, copy.
Go on, Soph. You can take him back. Verstappen normally does well on sprints. Oh, his tyres are starting to overheat. That's a bad sign. This is basically going to be a proper duel. Drop down to standards, because I think he'll back off a bit now. And just use the DRS on him.
So focus on just bringing your tyre temperatures back under control for the moment.
12 laps. We are going to need to drop run light for a bit, so... Conserve.
Increase liftoff for the brakes.
Copy.
Conserve. Push. Four. Probably make that back. If you like bread, I highly recommend the Jono knife. Ooh. It's one of those duels where you just need to make sure that you're the person slightly behind on the last lap. Monty's up into 10th. Gonna need to run light for a bit. For both.
Could you double your liftoff, please?
Yeah.
Deploy. Yeah, she's like ragging the tyres, but she's fine. Monty will be close. The main problem is these have stayed close enough to DRS each other, so he's not really been able to get back in, but fuel at 0.1 is fine. Fuel at 0.1 is fine. Is she finally managed to drop Verstappen? Yes. Standard. You're on deploy. Monty's going to be close on tyres. I mean, he gained 5 places. That's not bad. And Flo should have this.
One more lap. Just up the lift and coast a little more.
He's not going to catch Ocon. Not on 29% tyre. So conserve and go run light. Because Russell's not going to catch him.
And the sprint win goes.
That's a sprint win for Flo. And
driver will be delighted to have won the sprint.
plus 5 grid positions for Montoya, so that's not bad.
And their hard work is rewarded with maximum points.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Norris never ran out of fuel in a race stream. Never, ever. No, never happened. Never happened. We never let Norris run out of race in a fuel on a final lap. Never happened, chap. Absolutely never happened. So the thing is, he's going to pass all of these because they're all taking penalties anyway. So he'll be, what, 1, 2, 3, 5th on the grid? So that was good from him.
Race day has arrived, and the time has almost...
Yeah, 5th. Of course, we're back to the untested setup, but... Right, race fuel down 2 laps. Driving options... Well, let's see what we do on strategy. I feel like soft, medium, soft is our goal. What's the safety car percent? Can we see the safety car chance? Historic safety car chance, 100%. That's quite a high safety car chance, chap. Yeah, I think you're right, chap. Medium, soft, soft. 95, yeah. So you could use that emote. Because we've got extra softs. So we could actually go soft, soft, soft if there's an early safety car. Risky with a chance that low, I know. I think it's a risk I am prepared to take. We're going medium, soft, soft. Some of you may fall foul of the safety car. It is a risk I am prepared to take, chap. Do we run him as soft softs as well? Yeah, YOLO. You know what, YOLO. Go away with your untested setup. I think maybe we just stay on the mediums. Probably need to push with her. Get clean air. F1 Manager 2023 is currently 45% off on Steam. It is indeed. Does, however, very high system spec requirements. If you've got the internet for it, GeForce Now is absolutely worthwhile.
We're not too far away from the race. And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's lights out.
Yeah, I mean, you run it through GeForce Now, don't you, Road Trick? Because you are a Mac user. Okay, that's all good. Shall we watch Montoya? See how Montoya gets off the grid. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Inside on Russell. Inside on Russell. Go. Oh, you coward.
Check some points on Leclerc, please.
Coward, Montoya. Standard. Poucher and Gasly having a proper duel there.
Straight into management.
Copy, copy.
Drop and flow.
We are out of DRS.
Yeah, copy, 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 copy.
Because I'd quite like to take you off this tyre preference.
P1.
Poucher's on mediums as well. Oh, she's dropped him, she's dropped him. Get down a tyre. I am, but way too much else coming up soon. So what's on your playlist then, Zaran S? What is on your playlist at the moment? What are you waiting for? Montoya up to second already, so he's done well.
Let's see what happened there. Now down at the center S. The gap opens up for them. And the McLaren
Nice.
there with a beautiful manoeuvre.
Go on, Monty. You can take him. Don't let him bully you. I know it's a game that I've enjoyed watching, but I have zero interest in playing myself. See, I have plenty of games like that. I think that's the nice thing about watching game streaming is there's lots of games I'm just like, certainly a lot of things like Souls-likes and stuff like that. Like I'm an old man. I'm over 40. I do not have the reaction times to be playing Souls-likes. But I will happily watch other people who are good at them play those games. Proper battle between Montoya and Verstappen. Again, Verstappen must be so annoyed by all of
Let's
this.
have a look at that.
Like,
Look at the McLaren
remember this
driver
is
here.
Montoya's first year in F1,
Can they squeeze by?
and Max is just having to fight him. Rogue Trader and next year Persona 3 Reloaded and possibly Tekken 8. See, Rogue Trader definitely got my eye on Rogue Trader. Quite like to play Rogue Trader. Persona 3, Persona 5 was the first Persona I picked up, and I really enjoyed it. I have to say. I can finally see what the hype is about. Because I do love a JRPG.
Full concentration, anything can happen.
Myself and Bex, my wife, are big fans of Legend of Heroes series. So Trails of Sky, Trails of Cold Steel, all of that. So we are very much waiting for the next one of those to come out. And Max is even more cranky old man at this point. Yeah, absolutely. Do not have the time or patience to get good for Souls-likes. 100% agree. 100% agree. I am way too old for that kind of shit. The annoying thing is this has been DRS chaining Verstappen. Good on that. Maybe bring Flo in first. Could kind of do with one more lap out of it though. One more lap. It's a 5-second gap, so we should be fine. Super Mario RPG Remake just came out on the Switch, so I'm looking forward to playing that. Some really good stuff on the Switch. 13 Sentinels is phenomenal. If you've not played 13 Sentinels, play 13 Sentinels. Phenomenal game. Right, now you come in. Go soft. Pit Monty now. I think we give him another lap. He's hassling Verstappen enough. He's getting the DRS off of Verstappen, which is keeping him close. And an extra lap means he hasn't got to go as long on softs. And it doesn't then clash with Soph pitting. So I think that's just worthwhile. Yeah, because Verstappen came in, so... Clean lap for Montoya, pit now. Out in fourth, that's not bad.
We've had a big crash here.
Big crash.
There's debris all over.
Yeah, but who?
Oh, we've had a crash.
Ocon! Is that Lawson he's just taken out?
Yeah, that's it, guys. I got hit.
When you say you got hit, Ocon, do you actually mean you hit someone? Because those are two very different things. Oh no, it was Dooley. Now we are going to need to run light at some point. Go on, Monty. Peg him back. There you go. DRS. You can get him in. There you go. You got DRS on him. Ooh.
We've got a yellow flag here.
How long am I still streaming? Not for long. Basically to the end of this race, and then we're going to have a quick look at Verstappen. We will then be back on Sunday with CK3 again. And on Monday with more of this. It's entirely possible that on Monday, depending on how many races we get in a week, we may win the title with Sophia Flörsch next week. So be aware of that. Remember that ! Discord gets you my Discord. We will stream some F1 races during the week, and I do an announcement when I'm streaming F1 races to Discord. So if you want more of these races, follow me on join the Discord, because you will get more non-Twitch streams of races. With those, I just stream them and then we chat in the chat channel while we're watching, because I don't do vocals over those. So I can kind of do it while I'm sat on the sofa downstairs, which is nice. Virtual safety. Oh no! No! What happened? What happened?
Look at the McLaren driver here. And ends up in the wall. Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
Oh, that's just the game being weird, because that's the same spot in practice. That's the game being weird. Right, that's a virtual safety car. If we pit Montoya now, he can do softs for the rest of the race. I think. There goes the perfect win record. Well, it would have felt a bit bad if we got it with Soph, but not Lando. What do you think, chat? Stick to plan on softs with one more pit, or do we pit now for mediums? Speak now. Go hards. stick to plan A. Softs. Okay, we're sticking to plan A. You'd reload. Yeah, but if you bird everything, you learn the value of nothing. The other thing is we can now run him on that is going to get his fuel back. And he is in front. Montoya, this is your moment, my friend.
Just keep it sensible on the time.
This is your moment. Don't waste it. That's my wine cat? No.
BSC ending.
Okay, copy, copy.
He needs to drop Verstappen. Verstappen is on hards. He's going to need to... Verstappen's going to need to pit at least once more. He will pit for softs. Let's do this. Montoya, I need you to be the driver that your dad never was.
DRS enabled.
I need you to be the driver that your dad promised to be, Montoya, not the driver your dad turned out to be. See, Max is pushing. But this is also why I'm leaving it on this view, because it's much harder for Max to overtake on this view.
Caution on number 3.
Yeah, the game does do tyre colour properly. Kitten wanted hugs. Kitten's seen something shiny. Kitten is off. She's more of a shoulder cat. She really likes shoulders. Come on, Montoya, drop him. Just need you to drop him.
Come on, mate.
There's a DRS point there. Need to be over a second at that point, Montoya. You might have him. No, I think he pulled it back. He got DRS. Oh, we can't run on this tyre. Temperature for long. I think he got him. Game's visual for models for crashes. Like, yeah, I'm quite forgiving of it because it's quite hard to do. Oh, he's just floating on the edge of dropping him and not quite dropping him. You can take him, Montoya. Come on. I mean, Max might be going end of race on these tyres. It is possible. In which case, we're actually better off dropping back slightly and being DRS'd off of him, but never overtaking him. Because we are actually boosting.
It's a fairly heavy accident. Could be a lot of debris on track.
I think we come in. I know it's a lap early. But Max is going to stay out. Because he's on 70% hards. For mediums. We either pit for mediums and push, or we pit for softs and don't push. I think we pit for mediums and push. Max might come in for mediums. If he comes in for softs, this is race over.
There's a yellow flag now.
If he comes in, he's coming in for softs.
BSC deployed. Dash positive, dash positive.
Copy.
Basically, if Max comes out on softs, we're toast. If he stays out and we pit for mediums, we win this.
I'm going into pit lane
Max
now.
isn't coming in. Max is staying out on hards. Race on. Race on. We should come out in second still. Yeah, I think it's important as it's just the second year they've done a game. They've got a 4-year contract for this. But Frontier are losing money as a studio. And I don't think... I hope they do at least one more year of this game because it's so close to being good. It's good already, but it's so close to being great. Part of the problem is, unless you're doing stuff like we are, where we're doing database editing, it's quite hard to get the streaming duration out of it. Because most of the cases are, if you're not bad at this, you're going to turn around and nail it. Like, by year 2, you've won a title. Or year 3. So as a streamer, what else are you going to do? Unless you do a challenge like this. And they haven't optimized around doing challenges.
Focus on that management.
Copy, copy.
It's going to come down to... Right, virtual safety car ending. Can we make 15 seconds up on Max when he's not pitting? That's what this is going to come down to. I mean, scenarios are nice, but I'd much rather see some frickin' driver packs. Give me, the ability to buy a bunch of retro drivers, and I'd fucking micro the payment shit out of that. 15 seconds, 20 laps. Montoya. Go.
Virtual safety car ending.
Copy.
Your house.
Yeah, copy, copy.
There's a lot of crashes in this race.
And oh, what's happened there with Nick de Vries?
Oh, the confetti is flying. Or just make the next one more mod friendly. Yeah, like honestly, if they the big lesson they should have learned from Motorsport Manager was just make the game really mod friendly. Because then everyone else will mod in all the shit that you can't do because of licensing rules. Right, how much time are we making up? Start from there. That's 7.2. .8. That is 1.4 seconds a lap. Yeah, we're on for this, aren't we, chat? Remember, he is running Rich at the moment. We can't run Rich forever. We can go down to about 0.3 maybe, because if it gets us into DRS range, it's worthwhile. Really want to run much longer than this.
Just to confirm it's thermal dig.
We can burn the tyres.
Copy.
Burn to death. Right, we're in DRS. Balanced.
That's positive. Red flag.
Fuck off.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now there's the car of Piastri.
Fuck you, Piastri. Oh, we had him. Damn you, Piastri. His tyres went. It's a straight up sprint. It's a straight up sprint now.
Our race here resumes as we get back underway. It's lights out and away we go.
Rag 'em. Rag 'em. This is basically our car versus Max. What changes can be made during red flag tyres? How many crashes?
Stay well away from the debris.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. Not a lot of wiggle room here. And oh, that's obviously far from intentional.
100%. They weren't lying about that 100% safety car, were they?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
give over.
We've had a crash. What happened there?
Is that twice in a single race for Nick de Vries? Go on, Monty. Go on. Go on.
So this is what happened. Look at the McLaren driver.
Go on, Monty.
The opportunity begging to be taken.
You've got the car for this.
And we've got a new race leader.
Really annoy Max by beating him. Six laps to go. Rag the tyres, Monty. Rag the tyres. Go on, gap him. Gap him. Gap him. You got this. You got this. This is your first race win. Fuel, 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 fuel. Remember, chat, we have never let a driver run out of fuel on stream. Never. Moderately overheating. No shit.
Temperature's back under control for the moment.
Go on, Monty. Actually, you can pull back off of that. He's not catching you now. Don't crash.
Race win today.
Oh, go Montoya! Does massively overheating the in-game make them perform worse? It does, but also the driver is more aggressive, so they're more likely to make mistakes. Oh, look at Max Verstappen back there stewing. Flörsch went out and he still couldn't beat the rookie.
Yeah, a crash.
Oh, come on.
Let's take a closer look. Now look.
Oh
he heads
no,
to turn
from
2,
third.
and you can see how tight it is. And there, the cars make contact.
Oh, they're both out.
Knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Oh, nobody likes to see that. Then they crashed after the line. It happened after the flag.
The McLaren driver put in a great performance today.
Well done,
It was a
Montoya.
truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team.
And welcome to the stream, Cheese God.
But just look at this. The overwhelming excitement for those celebrating this achievement. Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
Mixed feelings, Karun. Mixed feelings.
What a great outcome that is for the team.
I don't think he got a penalty because it's not showing as him getting a penalty. So he might have got cleared. I'm quite pleased about that, to be honest. Okay, I don't want Soph not finishing, but we have got a good lead. And it is nice that Montoya got a race win. And she did get sprint points. I think we might win the Constructors this year. I've just got a feeling. Right, let's have a quick look at Max. At least we didn't have to pay out any bonuses. Like, Montoya literally has no win bonuses. I didn't put any in his contract. Right, so people wanted to have a look at Max. Max Verstappen is 33. He's the highest rated driver in the game because obviously Lando's not... Well, Lando's actually slightly below him. Better driver though in my mind. He has 4 months left on his contract. He is on 33 million a year. He gets a race target bonus of 875 million. And his bonus threshold is 5th. I love it when the saves start to get this far into the future, so of course I had to see what the grid was like. So obviously we are carrying on this save even after we win with Soph. So our goal after this is we're going to go all-one F1 team, all-female F1 team, and stick with us because we're going to be thinking about what team we do based on... Because I love it as well, like when you start getting to this point, but you need to play for so long. The saves are up on the Discord. So you can pick this save up. I've also kept one from before this season, which was with a big reset of stats. And I will be putting that up on Race Department at the end of this season, so that and on the Discord. So if anyone wants to just play this far in the future, they don't have to do 350 hours of play to get to this point. You want to see his stats? Let me bring him up again for you. So he is 100 on cornering, 96, 92, 91, 90, 98, 95, 100, 100. It's a very good driver. The sad thing is, me on the console, I can't see regen driver nationalities. You can't on this either. Sainz and Leclerc are still in the game, by the way. They're just free agents at the moment. So if we look at Cesar here, you will see there's no nationality listed for him, which does annoy me slightly. Just give him nationalities. Right, we will leave it there for today. Thank you everyone for watching.